Oshio. Hey, Brother Scudder. God bless you. Yeah, I agree with what you was saying there, brother. But as that, I've only seen little pieces of this first. I can't even pronounce the guy you was talking about. Here and there, and what I've seen, I tell you, and this has been my view before even this issue about Paul came up. I thought he was out there. Okay, but anyway, though, the thing is, not just with him, with any of them out there that I've heard going on this absurd stuff about Paul being a false, a false apostle, being an antichrist, and this and that. The Bible tells us to stay away from such people like that. We shouldn't fellowship with them, and I won't. I won't give them a time a day. Especially if they're claiming to be a brother, and they'll declare such, things. No. All right. Well, all right. Getting on that. For instance, here, there's something. There's something here in the in Peter, 2 Peter, the last chapter, chapter 3, starting at verse 14, says, Wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless, and account, that is, consider, that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even our beloved Paul also, according to the wisdom given to him, has written to you. See, I think a lot of these guys ignore this, but whenever something convicts them and it goes against their grain, so to speak, then they want to tear it out. That's just the way it always been. But it goes on and says, as also in all his epistles, that's talking about Paul's letters, speaking, also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they, and now here this goes making reference to, well, even to people such as today, calling them, saying false things about Paul and all this and what have you. But let me read that again. And also in all his epistles, Paul's, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable twist. And I see a lot of these guys that are doing, these people who are talking against Paul, they are very unstable. Okay? He says, that are unlearned and unstable twist, as they do also the other scriptures, to their own destruction. Jesus, I think he said it best when he spoke to the apostles, the disciples. He said, speaking about the Pharisees and stuff, he says, well, let them alone. He says, let the blind, see the blind, I'm paraphrasing here, of course, where he said, let them alone. He says, let they be blind, guide to the blind or something, So you got a lot of that going on, really. Blind leaders of blind people. And, like we were talking about people that are unlearned and unstable. Well, you've got a lot of that going on here on YouTube. And even not on YouTube, all around us, you have that. And, even Paul said that people would creep in, in Acts. It mentions about how that he, and he told the leaders, how that there'd be some people that creep in, you know, yeah. Well, and see, I have seen this where where people get convicted, or when they're told that something that they're doing is wrong, and they don't like that, they rip out things because it don't suit them. They're too busy trying to make God or the Bible or both or something, in their image, their likeness, their way. They want to make it all in their own way. And, it disturbs me that these people do that. But on the other hand, the only thing I can do is pray that God will open their eyes and leave it at that. But as far as fellowshipping with them, I will not do. Even John, in the second epistle of John, he was talking about how these people, he's talking about, well, stay away from them. Don't fellowship with them. Don't let them in your home. Now, he never said hate them, and he never said don't pray for them. He just said you don't fellowship with them. You don't allow them in your home, because that's like partaking of their evil deeds. But, but John also, as Jesus, he believed that, you should love your enemies and pray for them. So it's kind of like a little bit of wisdom, knowing that, you got to pray for them and love them, but yet you don't fellowship with them. And I know some people have a hard time trying to find that balance there on how do you love them and not fellowship with them. How do you work that out, that's where wisdom comes in. But you was talking about, about the Paul thing, well, I sit there and I find that these people have no basis, none, for their theories. They have none, and they can give none. And they'll twist Paul's words, like Peter was talking about. Peter even said that these people who are unlearned and unstable, they twist and everything, and it's done to their own destruction. So that's why I sit there like, hey, let them alone. They're blind guides leading the blind. But pray for them. Pray for them that God can open their eyes. That's all we can do, right? We don't hate them. We get perturbed. Maybe that's not the word. Hurt. We get a little zealously aggravated. I can't think of the right words to use here. Help me out, guys. We get upset when people speak against holy people, and speak against God. When I say get upset, I'm not talking about fussing and fighting with them like that, no. But, you just, as part of you don't like seeing someone that's holy. It's like when you see someone who's got a beautiful life and humble and loves God, and they're sweet, and they don't hurt nobody, and they do good to everyone, and then someone attacks them. There's something in you that's like, no, no. Well, same way with the Apostle Paul or Peter or any of them, and Jesus. But hey, the Lord sent Paul, and if people can't accept Paul's word, they can't accept Jesus Christ. That's Jesus' words. Whoever he sends, if they don't accept them, then they can't accept him, and then they can't accept God. So there we go. Well, that's my few cents. And hey, I hope everything's going great, Brother Scudder. There, God bless you. Shalom. Ha ho.